Last we left our heroes, you'd faced down the Dubh Catha and his frigid compatriots inside the fallen ice titan Cryonax. Sadly, Lucius and the mind flayer Varak fled before they could be put down, and your party was left empty-handed in your initial pursuit. However, through Gord's powerful magic, you did manage to have control over the Jarl of the Frost Giants, and you sought to force him to answer some of your questions, trying to learn where your foes would flee to and how you could handle this now powered-up ritual of winter. Ultimately, he provided some answers, but not enough for what you were looking for. And with him under your control, it was easy enough for him to be felled by your blades and magic. With the ritual of perpetual winter seemingly underway, you returned to Senelise. Here you saw the Summer Queen visibly feeling the effects of this completed ritual, and an obvious sense of worry setting in. And thus you discussed your path forward. With the ring seemingly the key to this ritual, and the crow having absconded with it, and the Warden of the Fae, pursuing them became the immediate goal. Knowing this, Titania brought forth a drastic option. Using the bulk of her magic and drawing from the light imbuing her chosen few, she could bend the shroud of time that encases the Feywild from the other planes, and could in fact send you to your assailants utilizing the blood of Varak as a focusing agent. Doing so, you could conceivably arrive mere moments past the time they fled this plane themselves, and pursue them before they were granted a full rest or time to gather more allies. Given the advantage this granted, the costs was found acceptable, and you briefly rested, prepared yourselves, and were sent through Titania's means with an hour of power left to Valentine, in which you needed to complete your mission and flee before his connection to Titania and the Fae would lie dormant for a time. As you shifted through the plains, you found yourselves once more in the lower plains, in the depths of the Nine Hells, the lair of Malbolg in which the Hag Countess Malagard holds sway. The magic, focused on the Mind Flayer's blood, brought you to the edge of this cave, and within you found the lair of Lucius, the Dubh Catha. Quickly, you fell into more combat with your foes. Knowing time was of the essence and your enemies would be weakened and depleted of their most powerful magic, you struck fast and struck hard. Hondo, very early on, sought out Varak and slit his throat clean with Whisper. As he did, the Mind Flayer fell, and the blade erupted with shadow and force energy as it fully found connection with Hondo as its wielder and erupted into its exalted form. Without his largest spells or the Ring of Winter's power, the crow elected to keep on the move, jumping between the lair and the ethereal plane using a blink spell, and in his moments within the lair, utilized several items and objects of weird magic to his advantage to keep you all busy. However, none of what he could throw at you seemed to deter your focus. Putting down his summoned allies with ease, you held on for a moment where the crow would reveal himself, and as he did, arrows and magic were loosed, but it was Valentine's eldritch blast that struck most true. The crow's form burning away beneath the brunt of the force energy of the Summer Queen's chosen, leaving behind only a pile of ash, the leather armor falling to the ground empty, and the clatter of a golden ring on hard stone. And this is where we begin tonight. What do you guys do?
I want to rush down on Fern towards the ashes of him.
You descend quickly and rapidly, dismount Fern. You see the this kind of thick, leathery cloak cascade down over. You can see bits of the armor kind of sticking out from beneath, but kind of all around there's this haze of gray and this fine dust ash kind of permeating the air.
Do I see the Ring of Winter?
Make an investigation check.
I think this is still a disadvantage though, right? Or is that something else?
Are you exhausted, or you just have disadvantage on charisma checks?
Oh, it's charisma checks, you're right. So that was 19.
Okay.
Sorry, plus 7 is 26.
Yeah, remember the modifiers. They're important.
I was just too excited to roll a 19.
You dismount Fern and quickly, already eyeing very obviously the leathers of the Warden of the Fae remain, and just kind of quickly with a boot kick over the cloak just a little out of the way, and you do not see any form of the crow remain, but you also don't see the ring within this cloud of ash, and you begin to quickly just scan around, and through just the flicker of flame as some torches still alight the space, and a wall of flame off to the left side of the room begins to just fizzle down now. You see the glint of a firelight in a ring of gold that is still crested with this perpetual frost. It just kind of fallen off to the side on the dark stone, just beneath like a curtain almost, but in shadow, but still found by you.
Can I try and rush up to it?
Yeah, it's rolled maybe like 5 feet away, but you can get there in a minute.
I'll just try and mage hand it into the bag of holding.
Okay. Easily enough, your mage hand scoops it up, pops it in the bag.
I admit, that was a scary moment when Valentine thought Hondo could get to that ring before he could. And who knows what the fuck would happen there. Jesus. Does this, like, ashy, smoky stuff, like, does it resemble anything when we were dealing with undead before, when it was, like, vampires turning to mist or anything like that?
No. Without even making a check, this just seems like you watched his form, like, crumble and crack and burn away, and this seems like a natural way it happened. Just cloud of ash and dust of a burning away remains.
Okay.
It doesn't look like a moving sentient cloud in any way, just scatter.
You guys all okay? Everyone okay? Mary was, like, set on fire there for a second. Is she all right? Mary's also on a work call, but I assume she's okay.
She's a little singed, but otherwise fine.
Yeah, everyone else, you okay? Hondo, you good?
I'm better than good. I'm very good.
Why don't we got to get out of here quick? So if you guys want to look around, Hondo, don't drink anything or throw anything, but maybe we can look around and loot this place before we get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, to refresh your minds, you guys have only been in hell and within this lair for about 10 minutes, from time of arrival to scouting and making sure that it was safe and clear to get through, and then immediately falling into a fight. 10 minutes at most of your rough hour. So you have 45 minutes to 50 minutes to investigate and presumably flee.
There, I remember those potions on the side there. I see them there. Gord, why don't you go try some? See if there are any, make you superhuman or, some great power.
Don't drink anything. I specifically said do not drink anything.
Look, he's a party pooper. Don't listen to him. Go try.
Gordon, I think it's a bad idea. Hondo, you don't be incorrigible to this. It's a bad idea.
We live by...
I will start trying to put the Warden of the Fae. Can you describe what the Warden of the Fae looks like? I mean, we've seen it on it, but never up close.
Yeah, you've seen it before, but now as you kind of get it, I'm debating sending you a picture, but I won't. You actually
Gord put in the chat too, by the way, he only drinks liquid Turkish Delight, Hondo, so...
Yeah, so it's perfect. It's the Arendelle Delight, they call it. It's a great potion, the way it looks at it.
God.
It's gross. As you stoop down and begin to kind of scoop up the pieces, it is individual pieces, though some of them are connected by straps of leather and clasped together properly. But there is a large kind of breastplate of all of this brown leather that you can see as you kind of lift up. Beneath the flicker of firelight, you can see it's almost got a green sheen to it. And its intricate scroll work across all of the pieces is done in, so the indent of the actual scroll work almost glimmers with this kind of green, and it's all feathers and leaves, and it's all just very intricately done. And you can see across the pauldrons and across the two bracers more intricately done feathers and bone, and all the clasp areas are these kind of different multicolored looking leaves of various different kinds of trees. It is a beautiful piece of leather work, and kind of together you can envision it as you've seen it displayed before, but up close you can envision it kind of, you see the pressed image of like a crashing wave and a wreath of spiraling vines kind of cover the chest plate, and you can see it all kind of, when all put together, kind of intricately weave together this kind of collage or array of intricate scrollwork and leaves and branches that all interconnect and reach down to this insignia at the chest piece.
Sorry if this is an unobservant question, but I feel like you've described that before, and I wasn't sure if that was for the Warden of the Fae, or have we just seen that symbol somewhere else?
You've seen that symbol before.
Yeah. Where do we know where that was?
Make a religion check.
Not as good. 12.
12 is enough. This is not a particularly difficult symbol. You've seen it quite a few places as the symbol of Melora, the kind of religious symbol of her. This a kind of combination of symbols, this crashing wave and wreath of spiraling vines with kind of golden accents and these different colored leaves of many different trees. It's all this kind of spiral circle of life kind of motif. You've seen it in Endora. You've seen it all through the Vale. It pops up in Verdansia. Back a long time ago when you guys were in Rogue Point, you met a Paladin of Melora who was an ally of yours for a short time on your adventures.
Oh yeah, that guy. He was pretty good.
He was all right.
He was all right.
You haven't heard from him since Rogue Point was destroyed.
Dead,
yeah, he's probably dead.
But you've definitely seen the symbol of Melora, though this one seems a little different from the majority of them. You note that, but it is very obviously the symbol of Melora, the Wild Mother.
Wild Mother, great. Cool.
Gord, you go over to check out the kind of apothecary rack.
And Mary put in the chat too. She'd love to do a investigation on something.
Sure. I just want to. Is Brock here?
Yep.
Do you want to go check out that apothecary rack like Kevin suggested, or like Hondo suggested, or are you doing something else?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Throw me an investigation check for that. Mary, you can see you're on the opposite side of the room. The wall of flame now kind of fizzling away. If you want to check out either the left side of the room, there was a desk kind of area at the far side of the room, and there's just kind of a couple of little bits and bobs in the middle section of the room.
Yeah, I believe that's where he like pulled a scroll from, right? Was from that desk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll definitely want to look around there.
Sure. So throw an investigation check for over there. And either of you can just tell me when you get a roll.
Yeah, that's a 26.
Okay. Oof. Mary, as you go over, you kind of kick through the bodies of the... actually, there are no bodies. As you make your way over to the area where this wall of fire once burned, you kick through some sludge that once were some of these enemies you battled in the battle that seem now to be kind of dissolving away in some kind of gross, and it kind of begins to smell as you make your way back across. It's a pungent, like brimstone scent that mingles in very well with the kind of burning of parchment and wood as you make your way up onto this other side. And you rolled a 26, you said?
Correct.
Yeah, so you see a couple of things. On a lectern of aged bone, at least what it seems to be, you see what once was a full book that seemed to be open, that you happened to you noticed while you were kind of fighting. It was open to a page. Most of the book now has burned away, but this page is kind of left alone, and you can see it singeing on the edges, and you can see it's this flourishing script. It's been hastily written, though you still see this parchment. that was it seemed of some importance. And kind of taking note of that, you quickly look around the space and see a lot of the desk and lectern papers, parchment, books, a lot of burned and crispy. You don't see a lot. However, there is a small kind of cascading box where you can see a handful of rolled pieces of parchment that seem to be protected from the elements. You can see they still kind of smell like they were singed, but you see no obvious sign of actual flame having done any damage to them, and it kind of rings true of some kind of protection, either a magical one or something was applied to them in some way. And as you quickly look through, you see there are 4 rolls of parchment, and as you look through, each of them have symbols and sigils of magic that you have no fucking clue what they are, but you have 4 assorted spell scrolls and this odd first piece of parchment.
Okay, cool. I'll just gather it all to look at later because I know there's no time left here.
Okay. Gord, what was your investigation check on the other side?
9.
9?
Yep.
Easily enough, you can see as you make your way up there, there's a bunch of just shattered glass all around here. Whether through the battle, you're not sure, but you can see there was some that was already here when you first entered. Seemed like a lot of the stuff that was in this area was initially rifled through for your foes to try and heal themselves up. But you do find 2 rather large, familiar-looking healing potions. The familiar red glittering liquid within, but they seem heftier than a standard potion. You find 2 superior healing potions.
Someone write that down because we always fuck up when we get potions. Okay.
Mary, you had a good call there. I don't want to be the one to do it, but someone should look over. What's this guy's name? Kurvak?
So I'll look at Vrak.
Okay.
Your boy.
Throw an investigation check.
All right.
I'm also not doing anything, so I can go and investigate somewhere.
There's kind of the far side. There was like another set of desks and kind of things. Do you want to throw an investigation check up there, Allie?
Sure.
So it's 10 plus 11, 21.
Okay.
Nice.
Unfortunately, Varak doesn't seem to have a whole lot on him. He wears kind of a breastplate of metal that seems kind of a tailored, spiked breastplate that is in good condition still, relatively good condition. Obviously a little battle worn, but nothing worse than anything you guys have worn. But unfortunately, he seems not to carry anything in his pockets or anything on his person, unfortunately.
Question.
Mhm.
Is Fern with us right now?
Fern is presumably with Valentine over in the corner.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up Vrak into really small pieces,
Okay.
and I'm going to feed it to Fern.
It'll take you a little bit of time to start like cutting them up, and this has all been like investigation of 20-30 minutes by the time all of this is said and done. Maybe we'll say 20 minutes so far. But yeah, you can absolutely take as much time as you want to try and start cutting them up.
I'll cut them up into like sushi.
Sure.
And then Fern, you look hungry. Eat. And I haven't told Valentine. I just come up to him and I eat. Do I have to roll a persuasion check to see if he'll eat it?
I think this would more be an animal handling check at disadvantage.
Wait, I have the animal handling abilities, don't I?
I mean, everyone has animal handling ability. Like,
You mean
no,
a ring of
skill.
animal influence? I don't know if you're attuned
I
to
have the
it.
glove, I have the ring.
You have a lot.
I don't think you are actually attuned to the ring of animal influence. And also, technically, Fern doesn't count against that as a fey mount of one of your allies. But roll animal handling at disadvantage for me. Roll again, take the lower. Allie, what was your investigation?
17.
All right. And Kevin, okay,
So-
total.
Plus 4, 13.
Okay. I would say Fern responds to you, and like as you kind of beckon him over, he would come over. There's no reason for him to to ignore you, as Valentine has not given any specific instruction. But Fern does not even try to lick or take a nibble of any of this aberration. He just kind of continuously, he sits and he's as tall as you while he's sitting. So you're just constantly trying to feed little bits of Varak to Fern, but he just kind of sits and stares, does a little head cock the other way, looks over at Valentine, looks back at you, but doesn't seem to be doing anything, unfortunately.
There are no other animals here, are there?
Make a perception check, actually. As Allie, you make your way up
is there another creature here?
onto the kind of upper level here, plus your perception, Kev. Allie, you find a couple of weird things. Over a quick look over, you see two dolls that, like voodoo doll-esque, and they kind of, as you get close, you hear kind of faint whispering voices, two distinct feminine kind of voices. One is kind of low and hushed and just whispering, and you can't quite make out what she's saying, and the other is a little bit more shrill, but you still can't quite make it out. They're on one side. You see a small chest about a foot in length, and maybe about a foot by a foot chest that is closed on top of a desk. There's an alchemy desk that it's on top of, and you see lots of the accoutrement you'd expect: eyes and jars and fingers as candlestick holders, with thin wicks coming out of the tips of the fingers. You see jars holding bits of animals and grisly-looking things, tentacles. Nothing you're necessarily unfamiliar with, but it is somewhat unsettling. And you see just like a big grouping, like a spiraling of chain, and a pile of bones. And as you kind of continue your scan, at the same time, Hondo, you turn just in time for Allie to kind of get close to this iron cage about the size of like a bird cage size. And inside, as soon as Allie, you look up, and Hondo, you catch this at the exact same time, you see three undead-looking crows that immediately begin to just caw loudly and horribly, just screeching. But you can see like bone beneath, and their eyes are gray, and some missing eyes, and their feathers are mottled and just falling out in many different ways. They're clearly sickly or dead.
I start
cawing horribly.
mind flare at them.
Okay, what they begin to eat as you throw it. They begin to immediately start eating the mind flare.
And I look at Fern like, see what they're missing? It's delicious.
Fern just cocks his head the other way this time. Allie, do you do anything with your new finds?
I'll kind of pick up the chest and just I'll carry it because I'm going to bring it down to show everybody. I'm not going to open it, but I'll bring it down to show everyone. Sure. And I'll just kind of call over to everyone and say, hey, I think these dolls over here are talking.
You think the dolls are talking?
Oh, this place is really creepy.
Fuck this place.
I throw a piece of mind flare at them. Will they eat?
It's not a bad idea.
You
Can
throw
someone
the
just
mind
set them
flare.
on fire?
You don't see anything react in any way, but the crows are now kind of fighting to get out of the cage. You see the cage kind of dangerously wobbling on top of a shelf.
Mary, when you destroyed that mirror, things went bad. I don't know if we should fuck with these. I don't know if we should destroy them.
Could someone who knows magic just look at them real quick? They're creeping me out, and I just want to make sure they're not.
I'll try and check them out.
Okay.
Don't touch them.
You said touch them?
As you get closer, what are you trying to do? Just discern?
I don't even know. Mary, do you think these are trapped? Like, without touching them, do you think they're trapped? Do you think we should just...
I was just trying to figure out what the fuck they are. Like, I don't know.
They look
tell. Couldn't things have, like, souls in them or something? I
was
don't know.
just going to say, do you think maybe they've got trapped souls in them? In which case...
I was wondering if Sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say we don't want to leave them or anything like that, just in case they're innocent souls or something. But we don't want to tamper with them either.
Do these look like the winter hags?
Okay, in this case, make an investigation check to get close enough just to identify what it is they look like.
Not great, but I add a lot to perception.
Investigation.
Never mind. 15.
Okay. With the thought of these may be recreations of these burr hags, you climb the stairs up onto this secondary platform, and you hear the crows battering against their cage on the one side, and you look over towards these dolls, and they're kind of in shadow. You get close, and you begin to hear the whispers as you get closer, and they have distinct voices, but they don't sound familiar, but you can't quite make out what they look like. So you get a little closer, and as you get at the edge of the desk where they're sitting, they both sit up and shriek into your mind. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, this might have been a bad idea.
16.
That's a success. They both... You take 10 points of psychic damage as they both just shriek into your mind this horrible screaming melody that you could imagine would strike fear into someone who was not familiar with these horrible haggish things. And then they both fall back in a way. You take a step back and the whispers kind of fade.
The whispers were still active when I stepped away, though? Like, they're still kind of like...
No, they stop as you finish this kind of psychic blast to your mind.
Oof. Yeah, just don't fuck with those. I don't know. They're like trapped. Everything here is bad. We're in literal hell. We need to get out of here. Brawley, what are you carrying there? You find something?
Yeah, I've just got a chest here, but I was thinking maybe not open it up in here, maybe somewhere later, and maybe Hondo, could you take a look at it, see if it's trapped?
Why don't we do that back in... Let's check out some of the loot back in good soil, not still here in one of these layers of hell.
Yeah, let's try and get it if we can.
Gordo, you find anything?
Just some potions. Nothing crazy.
Are you upset at all that Hondo just chopped up a perfectly good zombie that you were using?
No, it seems on brand.
I forgot. Oh, I would have not done that. He was a perfect zombie. Oh.
He wasn't going to
Vern
last
just shakes
forever.
his head. No.
Another one.
Another one. I don't know what to do here. Is there any... Mary collected some parchment. Is there any... Like, I'm wondering if we should burn this place down before we go. Like, what do you think, Mary?
Mary is taking another call, I
Mary's
believe.
taking another astral call, okay?
She's just kind of staring around the place and just shaking her head. Make an intelligence check.
16 on the dice plus 2 is 18.
You look around the space and the idea of burning it down, you could damage some of the stuff here, but it's still in hell. Like, you're not going to destroy the structure. You're not going to leave anything that... You're not going to destroy anything of value that you haven't already taken. But don't stop you from having a good time. And you've at about 45 to 50 minutes of time spent.
I think I will I'll rip a piece of paper out off of my notebook and quickly just take out a quill, and I'll just write on the piece of paper I'll write something like, enough Shadow Sun blood has been spilt. We don't want a war. Please end this foolish conquest. And then I'll sign it one of the last half-hags.
Enough Shadow Sun blood spilt. We don't want a war. What was the last line? Do you remember?
Please end this foolish conquest. Enough Shadow Sun blood has been spilled. We don't want a war. Please end this foolish conquest.
Okay.
Val was just writing that down, Mary. I can see you've come to your senses after staring off so pensive.
I'm back for good now. Work stuff's done.
Where do you?
And then I'll put it. He's just literal ashes, right? There's nothing left of his body.
There's still his cloak, but you didn't discern anything special about it. It's literally just a thick leather.
I'll just leave it on the cloak. Yeah, I'll just leave it on the cloak.
But yeah, there's no part of him remaining.
And then before I go, I'm just... No, I don't want to fuck anymore. I was going to try and Eldritch Blast those crows, but I just want to get out of here. I don't want anything bad to go on. So I'll just be like, all right, guys. Sorry, Mary, what?
I want to take a quick look at that piece of paper now that I'm actually back. Before we go, in case it has any, who knows, I could have a clue about something else that's here.
Oh, take it. Bring it.
I have it. I just want to read it or see if I can read it.
She hasn't read it yet.
Yeah.
It is in a language that you... what languages do you speak?
Probably not these ones. Elvish, Orcish, and Halfling.
I would just say, I forgot to mention this, Lavender would just be following you everywhere you go, Brawley. She's just literally trailing behind you at all times.
If I can't read it, I know there's people who have ways to read things. So I would just bring it to the group and say, does anyone understand this, or can anyone understand this?
Yeah, this is not a language you understand, though it is one you recognize as one of the lower planes scripts. Abyssal, Infernal, potentially Undercommon in a kind, or Deep Speech, but not one that you understand.
Okay. Just show the group. Found this, looked important. Can anyone read it? Should we take a very quick look before we leave in case it gives us some big-ass clue? Who fucking knows? I do want to get the fuck out of here, though, so fast would be better than... I don't know.
I speak Undercommon.
It's not Undercommon.
But that is not it.
Show it to the group. She also has... Does she have any firsts left?
I mean, yes, I could. This is way too gesture sounding. Let me look that up. Comprehend languages. Didn't she take a spell like that? I know Hondo has the ring.
She has comprehend languages, yeah.
You should have comprehend languages.
I do.
First, I think.
I do.
Oh yeah, I do have it.
Well, Hondo, if you have the
Hondo has it
charges
as well.
if you have the charges left, you can read it too.
I think I do. I don't think I have... Wait, I did it. Did I use them for the Frost Giants? I think I might have.
Yeah, but you
I
have-
think you have 3.
You have 3 charges, so you should be good.
I'll do it.
So does Lavender. She doesn't trust you.
As Mary is just kind of holding the parchment to the group, Hondo, you cast through your ring, and Lavender casts naturally through her sorceress abilities. And both of you watch as the script turns from these harsh hash marks of what you... Hondo, you've seen this before in the Infernal contract you once signed, of Infernal script, indeed. And it turns and shifts to a language you understand. And it reads what looks like part of a larger book, though this has been written quickly and hastily, though still in a rather nice and fancy kind of text. And nice ink, you notice as well. All of you notice that. But it reads, as above and so below, when hellfire reigns, the suns shall grow. In realms above and realms below, shadow and blood strike their blow. When reign of the god king expands, so shall too the countess's lands. But should the spawn turn to enemy fight, then blood of Malagard fate ignites.
Sorry, what was that last? Blood of Malagar what?
Malagard fate ignites.
Can you
Fate
paste
ignites.
that somewhere so I can copy it down? Thank you.
I'll put it in the chat here.
And if you sign up for our Patreon, we will send you that text as well.
Our non-existent Patreon.
It's a $20 buy-in. Interesting. Let's just take it. Let's take that as well.
Mary still has it, but now you guys can understand it. Did you, Hondo or Lavender, read aloud to the group, or just personally read it to yourselves and nod?
Wait, oh, so we're both doing it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be like, I don't know what she's gonna do. I'll read it to everyone because I'm a man of the people.
Lavender will mockingly read every sentence you read after.
So you get
As
this weird
above,
echo version of the
is so below.
of the paragraph here. But now you know that, and from what you gather from your group, you're at for 50 minutes. You still got about 10 minutes left for confidently having searched this place, but
Not
time
fucking worth
is
it. Get the fuck out of here.
uncertain.
Valentine will put the sword down like this, holding the cross hilt to his heart. Be like, everyone touch, everyone hold hands. We got to get out of here.
Okay.
I'll have Fern Rep put his little feather on me. I'll grab Brawley's hand. Is everyone else holding hands?
I'll grab Lav's hand.
Oh, Lav will grab Hondo's hand.
Aggressively.
Hondo, whose hand do you grab?
I grab whoever. I reach out and be like, "Who wants my hand?"
Oh God, I'll very reluctantly take it and then just pull Gord in.
I'll put my shoulder next to Gord's paw.
Everyone is now touching.
Imagine we forgot someone right now. It's so funny.
I want to. One thing I want to point out is when I stick my hand out to Mary, I have a piece of mind flare, and it's
God.
Oh, fuck. God. God. I with the two fingers hold a pinky.
Mary, it's sushi. Enjoy.
It is not sushi.
Very well.
Stop fighting. I'll turn this plane shift right around. And then I'll focus on Lightbringer, and I'll start plane shift.
Where do you take everybody?
I want to take us back to... Let me get it right. Right where we left from Titania. The Summer Isle. What's it called?
See if you can get it.
Of course, I want to go to the Senelise Court.
There you go. You guys feel...
Past the Shimmerun River. Sorry, keep going.
You guys feel a familiar shifting of your forms, as if part of you leaves before your physical form does, and then you are pulled along in this rubber band-like transportation. But this time round, a much more pleasant sensation falls across you all as you arrive, leaving behind a horrid, still the kind of all-pervasive screams in the background beyond the rock and battered stone brass. You now fall into line atop stone and soft grass beneath golden light and warmth of summer. And you see before you the gossamer-adorned Titania, the Summer Queen. You see both Nova and Dahlia are standing a little back from her, but they both, immediately seeing you arrive, looking somewhat triumphant, they both crack a smile, but stay back as Titania takes a couple of steps forward, looking to Valentine and says, "Is it done?"
I'll just nod and finally smile, and then I'll reach in my bag of holding. Do I have to touch it, or can I mage hand this little ring out from my bag of holding?
I think Mage Hand can interact. I don't think Mage Hand can interact with an object to interact with another object.
That makes sense.
So unfortunately,
So I'll have to pull it out.
Yeah. So
Put something around your hand.
Nah.
see.
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Nothing untoward immediately happens as you touch hold of the ring. However, your hand almost instantly goes numb. And you can feel like even though you have a very light grip and you're trying not to hold it tightly or hold it at all, really, it instantly freezes your hand. And you can still move your fingers, but you don't feel them. Your whole hand goes numb, and even about like a quarter of the way up your wrist, almost to your forearm, goes completely numb. You feel a conflict in your mind, as if two forces outside of your own were battling to hold sway and hold control, one attempting to pierce forward, the other a bright shield around you. And you feel Lightbringer at your hilt, actually still in your other hand because you just plane shifted. You feel it begin to burn, but not painfully. Just it begins to kind of a glow, and all of you begin to see Lightbringer kind of begin to take on this radial effect. This radiance begins to kind of cascade out and around Valentine, and his whole form seems to, for a moment, is shrouded in golden light, like that of Senelise itself. And you feel that cold abate. Though your hand is still numb, you feel that presence stop. And you have control of your person.
Whew. And then I'll smile and be like, please, let's stop the cold from taking over the Feywild. And I'll just open up my palm to her with this ring.
You watch as she reaches out, and from beneath this gossamer, these vines kind of trail off, and they reach out and wrap around the ring, lifting it from your hand. And she kind of holds her hand aloft with these vines atop it, kind of holding the ring. And she looks to you and says, I'm not sure that this will work, but I have to believe as you believe in me. And she holds her other hand aloft and slips the ring onto her hand.
Oh, shit.
And as she holds her hand there, you see this frost kind of encase her hand, and she winces for a moment, and then just a wry grin, and the sun just beating down on all of you. You feel this warmth just cascade out of her as she just, and the ring just melts away. Just water pouring down her hand, and she just wipes her hands clean. Immediately, you can feel a shift in the breeze around you. You see she closes her eyes and looks up, and you watch this kind of glamour over her kind of fall away, and you see what some of you saw for but a brief moment. You see Titania's form. You see her still beautiful in this feminine elven form, Fey Eladrin. But beneath her eyes, deep bags, and her around her iris eyes and like the sides of her face, these deep blue veins. The light of the gossamer of her clothing is immediately dulled and gray. And for a moment you wonder if something has gone horribly wrong when you watch it all just within a moment's expanse just flare, and she stands tall, strong, arches her back, and just breathes a warm sigh of relief and beams down across you all and reaches forward and with two hands holds the side of Valentine's face and kisses you gently on the forehead. And it's just this warmth that just cascades through you. Your knees shake for a moment. And she just...
I was going to say, I'll just buckle and fall on my butt after that. And just like, then fall back onto my back. And just like, kind of laugh, but just be exhausted.
And she laughs alongside and looks about you all and says, well, hopefully your future endeavors into my realm will not be quite so deadly and more joyful. I cannot thank you, Wildcards. All of you. And of course, Valentine. For everything you've done. For me, for all creatures of the Fae. We nearly fell into disaster. But were it not for a few heroes. I don't have the words.
Lavender will step forward and be like, well, he didn't really do much in that first fight. It was mostly me and Brawley, so, you know.
And I'm ever grateful.
I like her. She's nice.
She just kind of sighs and then just kind of sweeps around her court for a moment. And you just immediately feel like just the breeze pick up and it kind of rustles through the branches and the leaves, and you see blossoms just begin to arise everywhere, all kinds. It smells beautiful. It smells amazing. It feels like home. It feels amazing. She just kind of stands on the edge looking out over the Fae.
There's one more thing. I'll like move up and go back into my bag, and I'll take out Sylvanas' armor, the Warden of the Fae.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to leave without returning this to you.
She stops for a moment and looks over her shoulder, not even fully having turned her whole body, and says, I think it suits you.
I was hoping you'd say that. I'll start putting it back in.
She just kind of winks. And
I'll look at Dal and Nova and just kind of look at them with like are you okay with this move?
You see them both kind of, Dahlia kind of fallen in and with one arm around his waist and her head kind of resting on his breastplate, and his arm kind of holding her tight and looking over your group. And they both are just very obviously pleased. And as you kind of cast this look, they both, with a nod and a smile.
Mary, say it. Say it out loud. Don't say it in the chat.
It's more of a joke, but I just want to know if they're a thing.
Insight check them.
I mean, yeah, they are.
Just we thought it might be for so long.
We knew it!
Yeah. Of course they are.
Oof. All right. I'll put this thing back in and turn back to the wild cards and be like, wow. I can't thank you guys enough for accidentally coming here after Hondo ran into that tree. It means the world to me.
We're a family. Where else would we be?
And you owe us now quite badly.
I do. I owe a lot of you. But we ain't done here. We might be able to rest for now, but then tomorrow we got to go back to the material plane and make sure it's safe.
What time of day is it? Well, no, we don't know. How long have we been awake, Kyle?
This is relatively early. You guys woke up, hiked up to Senelise, took a trip over to the plain of the shores of Everbloom. Then you traveled across, traveled back, or traveled across, fought, traveled back, came up back here, went to the Hells, came back after an hour. You guys have been up for a majority of a day.
It has been a long fucking day. I mean, the longer we stay here, the bigger risk we are at fucking up time for home. If we can get, I don't know, is that tree even going to work anymore, the one we came through?
With me and Lightbringer, we could literally jump back without the tree.
Not till tomorrow, though.
I wonder if we'd be able to get to the tree today, or if it'd be worth it to just rest here.
You guys
I know what you mean, though.
Sorry to cut you off. To get to Gallifrey is a full day's travel.
And there's no chance of getting a shortcut there, looking at people who've done that for us before.
I think Dal's tapped.
Do you say it to them?
Yeah.
They both say, well, Dahlia kind of breaks from Nova and looks to Titania for a moment, but kind of holds her staff aloft and says, I mean, part of the deal of sending you guys to do this was we're all a little tapped. I have nothing left, and Atraxia is empty, and even Titania, I believe, is still going to be without the bulk of her magics, I believe, for a time.
Understood.
You're on your own, and we have to protect her.
Maybe we've earned just one night to rest.
Dahlia kind of looks sheepishly for a moment and says, you will not be able to use Lightbringer either, Val.
What do you mean?
You only had an hour of power. The hour is up.
But tomorrow, will Lightbringer work once more?
I think you're like us for a time.
Ooh.
Don't worry, you can have one of my daggers, Valentine.
Atraxia or Aetherius will still serve you as a sword. However, I think the magic within, much like Nirvana and Atraxia, until Titania has a full time to rest, our powers will be going to her.
That's no problem. Yeah, I thought maybe the quicker we took care of this menace, that it would be okay, but that's good to know.
Unfortunately, I think that's the truth.
Listen, fortunately, there's no unfortunately here. That's a fortunately.
You're right. We have much to celebrate. We have averted disaster. You and your friends have averted disaster.
You guys are a part of that. All the lords and ladies of light. But maybe tomorrow... Oh yeah, you won't be able to help us with that either.
Unfortunately, no.
That's okay. That's okay. Tomorrow we'll take a trip to Gallifrey. We'll jump back. But Mary, can't we just have one night to just rest?
Yes, we'll have to get up early tomorrow to make sure that we get back as soon as we can.
Nova steps forward and says, perhaps not too early. We have some very fine wine down below that perhaps you would favor a taste.
Oh, yeah.
And I still have this box.
Oh yeah, what the fuck is that box?
But Nova also says, we drink and we be merry tonight. And tomorrow, Dal and I will accompany you on your trek back to Endora and to Gallifrey, pardon me, and see you off. But yes, it will be goodbye, but not quite yet.
Mary, we be merry tonight. Why won't you let us be merry, Mary?
Oh, real good joke. Finger guns.
I'm very tired, okay?
Yeah, it's been the
It's just
longest
hell.
day of my fucking life. We were... Oh, God. This is like the third time we've been here today.
Top 3. Like, we've had long days. I think it's maybe 3rd. There's been longer days.
God. No, Haverfeld is pretty fucking long. Battle in Arendelle was also really fucking... I just don't think we've ever been in so many planes in one day so many times.
That's fair. Let's... Hondo, do you want to check out this treasure chest for traps? Because knowing the Dubh Catha, everything is bad.
Very well.
investigation.
I'll look over his shoulder. Just
Jesus.
I was
What do you
gonna say
add
to
to
give
that,
him
though?
advantage.
Plus 11, so 15.
You can tell it's not trapped, but it is locked.
Okay.
I can
Hondo?
keep opening it. Yep.
While he does that, well, Kyle, if you don't mind sharing, what was the name of oh boy.
Oh my god.
What is my...
Your thieves' tools.
I don't know if it's gonna help, bud. That was a 1 for the listener.
Yeah.
Where's Steve's tools?
Proficiency plus dexterity.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I don't think you actually have it written down, but you're also expertised in.
Okay,
Oh, so proficiency times 2 plus dexterity.
So it should be
8.
plus 15.
So proficient. So my dex is plus 5 and my proficiency is plus 5. So 10 and 15.
So 16 total.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as you kind of fumble around with the lock, it doesn't seem to be responding to your thieves' tools. And in a fit of frustration, you do bend a couple of your pieces. You might need to get those looked at.
I clap Hondo on the shoulder. No worries, man. It's been a long day. Not everyone can perform all the time.
Fuck this.
Try again. Just try again tomorrow.
Buddy.
Are you shaking it?
Yeah.
Buddy, don't shake it. Don't shake it.
You do, and all of you can hear what sounds like heavy objects hitting wood, but like in not a rhythm, but like how do I describe this? Several heavy things kind of clattering around in rigid movement.
As a reaction, just automatically take like 5 steps back as soon as he starts shaking it.
Yep. Nothing happens. You just hear like shaking something, but there's stuff like moving within, but weirdly restrained.
I'll move to Mary and just whisper like, can't you do this? Is he the only one who can do this?
Well, I mean, I can try, but I don't really want to hurt his bravado.
He's already thinking about the wine. I don't think he even notices.
Or
I
maybe
can smash the lock open.
I think I'll inspire you, Mary. I'll be like,
Alright, I'll
my
give it a
girl's
try."
got it. My last inspiration of the day. Well, of the short rest.
I'll add it anyway because I know it goes away in 10 minutes. Sorry, it's a D10.
D10, yes.
Okay. Oh, well, it's a good thing I had it because that wasn't an excellent roll. 15 plus, I guess it would be a 10 for me, right? So 25?
Nice.
25
That's
was
really good.
Thank you to
Just do
a
it.
6 on the inspiration.
25 was the DC.
Wow.
It was an impressive lock.
Don't feel bad,
But-
Hondo. This one was really was a tough one.
It takes you actually a couple of minutes to actually sit and tinker with it, but with Valentine's words ringing true and the feat that you all achieved, the lock clicks and it kind of springs open and it is unlocked now.
Mary, good fucking job.
Oh,
Do you want to take a step back and I'll mage hand this puppy open?
Yeah, let's everyone just take a step back. I don't trust shit.
With ease, the chest is set down, and even Titania kind of turns back around at this point and kind of lazily now, just kind of with like this air of like content, just kind of looks over as you guys are doing this. And with Mage Hand, the lid falls open, and within, you see like a rack, a wooden inset rack in this chest, this same size as the chest, and with about 8 slots. And within 4 of the slots, you see rather thick, large-looking coins. They're about 5 inches in diameter, and like a dark metal. But within the metal, you can see this kind of hint of red, kind of at all of the edges and the corners, and its sharp corners, almost like a gear at its edges, but not inset like a gear. Just like the edges are just kind of just beveled a lot, and you can see this red kind of in throughout it. And on the face one, you can see an infernal stamp of some kind. It's very obviously, you guys are now familiar with infernal script. It's some kind of infernal sigil imprinted onto this coin.
Do these look similar to the
Have we encountered
special
this?
coins when we were in hell that you had to like trade shit for in order to use at the
They do
fighting pit
look
thing?
quite a bit like soul coins.
Oh,
Soul coins. Fuck me.
what do we know about soul coins? We never
Infernal
really-
currency?
Immediately, Titania, kind of her face turns up and the lid slams shut. And she says, perhaps these foul things can be dealt with somewhere else, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem. But I did not realize that we were in the company of such evil.
Does this fit in the bag of holding?
It would be a tight squeeze.
I don't want to fuck with that.
Is there like a bag we could put them in? How big is this?
The coin?
Well, the
chest.
The chest.
It's like a foot by a foot, roughly.
We could just
maybe
take
a little
the coins
bigger.
out and put them in the bag.
Yeah, if there's another pouch or something we can put them in. I'm sure someone has a random pouch that used to have money in it.
They're pretty big. Like I said, they're about 5 inches across and about an inch thick.
I'm sorry, how many were there?
4.
But that would fit in the bag of holding, though, right? Like more easily than the.
You could put the coins individually in, sure.
Why don't we do that later? I just don't want to open it again in front of Titania.
Yeah. I just mean for now, the chest isn't monstrous. Like, Elena can carry it if you need to.
Done and done.
Easy enough.
Let's
plan.
Dal Nova, do you just want to have some drinks and then we can hit the hay? I'm pretty exhausted.
Yes, let's not keep everyone up too long, but I think we've earned a drink, a little bit of merriment. Let's head below to Somerset. They are a rambunctious lot. I think at least Hondo will fit in.
You know it.
This guy's fucking bromance with Hondo again. Here we go.
Titania kind of beaming across you all, seeing her champions together and the found heroes alongside. She kind of whistles, but it's not a whistle as a shrill whistle. It's like this hum tune, this like very, very high, beautiful note. And you see kind of flying up and over the edge, you see 4 eagles, giant eagles that are green and brown and white across with these brilliant black beaks. And she says, perhaps a climb is not for today. Take these. I'll get you down there in a mere moment. Enjoy your rest. Enjoy your fun. And we will speak very soon, Valentine. Travel safe.
Come on, Fern. Probably care for a lift?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
With you guys on Fern, the rest of you can all mount up on the crows, or on the crows.
Crows?
They all turn. Haha. There's a trap. She was the crow the whole time.
Fuck! You gave her the ring!
Ward can get the crows on his side. He can.
There you go.
Easily enough. In a matter of moments, you guys are on the shores of this like beach-like resort of Somerset Isle. You can see a massive bonfire already ignited on the beach, and the golden-skinned summer Eladrin are in full swing of revelry. There is lively music being played, and the waves are lapping up on the shores, and people are splashing around in the water. And you see a large kind of table heavily laden with fruits and jugs on jugs of wine and water and many different kinds of beverages. And you are welcome to your fill.
Can we just break there?
Just stop it there.
Are we cool to have a tiny break here just because I really gotta go pee before we dive into what comes next? Or do you want to keep going?
No, I'm fine. If you guys, do you want to just jump to take a break, do sleep, level up?
Yeah. Are you cool with that?
Fine with me. I didn't know if anyone wanted to try and do anything or like anything like that, or just say like, we all have a grand old time. We drink, we be merry, we fall asleep.
I find a few ladies.
What was that little move there, son?
My
I feel like something else.
I'm gonna make a persuasion with advantage.
I'm just dancing to Kygo. Just Eladrin Kygo.
pretty good. 14.
My guy.
Roll
my
again.
Boy.
Roll again. You have advantage.
Okay.
Oh, get that 20, Hondo. Loop Dalanova in this.
Get rid of that one. What's your persuasion bonus? So 14 plus.
My persuasion is plus 13.
Oh God, terrifyingly good.
27. Yeah. You very quickly find the Summer Eladrin are a fun-loving people in all aspects of life. There are several who are very happy to party with you.
Boom.
And Hondo leaves the wild cards forever as he finds his Nirvana
His new
here. But
Yeah.
the rest of you have a lovely time drinking of wine, enjoying a beach vacation after a daunting couple of days in the Feywild, with only a hint of anticipation and fear of what lies before you. And let's take a break and level up. As you guys fall asleep, everyone's going to level up to 14, with the exception of Lavender, who's a 12.
It's the part of my head where I bookmark where I'm like, we're safe. We're alive. You can just come back to this happy moment dancing on a beach with a bunch of Eladrin.
Yeah. We'll come back in a couple minutes. So, as the festivities, they don't really wind down to the wee hours, but your party finds rest, for the most part, comfortably within Somerset Isle, and you settle in. You all level up. So let's go across and just do a quick recap of what it is you got. So, Allie.
So, I am leveling up to level 6 Barb, and I am taking the Tiger Feet of the Totem, which means I now gain proficiency in athletics and in stealth, which I wasn't, in acrobatics and stealth, which I was garbage in.
Yeah.
So now I'm 6 at both.
A little bit more feline, a little bit more dexterous.
Yeah.
Scott?
There wasn't a goat totem you could have taken there, probably?
There was no goat totem, I
goat.
checked.
It's okay. We'll homebrew something.
Sweet boy.
So I took Bard. So now I'm Bard level 12, Warlock level 2. I took a feat instead of an ability score improvement. So I took the feat, what is it, Kyle? Ritual Caster? So I took Ritual Caster, Wizard. I figured it'd work with Valentine because he's getting more into books, getting more into recording things. And there's also some spells there that help like detect magic and identify, which we've been lacking anytime we get a magical item. We have to try and find someone else to do it for us. So hopefully that'll help. And then overnight I attuned to the Warden of the Fae. So we got another relic on our side.
So actually, speaking of that, as you wake up in the morning to adorn yourself for the first time, now having spent the evening looking over it and having Titania's blessing, and for the first time really looking at the symbol of Melora and starting to kind of ruminate on her influence on this as well. You come from this from the Feywild perspective, but this is a union, so to speak, in armor. It is both the light of Titania, but also the presence and power of the goddess, the Wild Mother, Melora. And you kind of feel the weight as you actually put it on for the first time. Feel the weight of what that means and what the call to both act as a champion of the Wild Mother now having proven yourself a champion of the of Titania, of the Summer Queen, of the Feywild, you now kind of mentally prepare yourself for embarking on the journey as kind of a secondary champion to the Wild Mother. And you feel the armor kind of close in on you, and for a moment it resizes as it naturally magic items are wont to do, but you feel it get close and tight and become almost like second skin, and it's warm, like a warm hug, and you can feel its abilities. You feel almost connected to the natural world all around you, and here heightened to the extreme. As you take your first steps on the path of being the Warden of the Fae. What are you going to choose as your resistance?
Right now? Oh my God, I don't know. Probably fire just for now. This isn't permanent, right? This is something I just decide?
Nope. Part of the ability is you choose it and you can change it on a short or long rest. I can't remember, but it's written into the armor.
Cool.
Under it. So yeah, it's got some cool abilities, one of which is a resistance. And
yeah,
you can feel
instead of it being cold, I don't want it to be fire.
Yeah. You feel instantly, it was already quite warm here, but immediately you feel a chill, actually. You feel a comforting chill. You feel as if the warmth of the summer is toned down ever so slightly and made a perfect temperature within this armor.
And we never fully addressed this. I think when I got Aetherius, do I still feel that like scary like hole in my heart that I had like once felt before?
When you attune to Aetherius fully, and now having spent much time with it, that cold and that hole is gone.
Great.
You now feel no pain calling upon your magic. However, now thinking of Aetherius, you feel its light ever so lightly diminished, and you can feel this emotion of a very faint, anxious, like anxiety coming from the sword, very quickly quelled into quiet contentment.
Yeah, I'll just pat him. Be like, it's okay, lady. We'll be good soon. And then I'll just like tuck him in my belt for now, but say like, we'll get you a sheath worthy of you soon, bud. And then, yeah, just for anyone who's watching, now my HP is 98. Hey, Brawley, what's your HP?
179.
Pretty up there.
That's all for me. I got no new spells or anything like that.
Hondo, what did you do?
So I decided to go up to level 4 Bard, which granted me 1 cantrip and 1 extra spell. And it also sent my HP up to 110. So eat that, Valentine. So the cantrip that I took was Mage Hand, which is lovely because I like to pick locks, and now I can do it without having things blow up in my face.
Yeah, you just like to touch things, and now you can get something else to touch things for you.
I may not use it, or I may use it to like prank people.
Also fair.
100%.
And the spell I took was
Phantasmal Force.
Phantasmal Force, yes. So I will get to play some tricks on some enemies. You know, maybe I might make like a dragon appear in front of them, and it'll be a distraction.
You got some cool abilities to kind of play around with it, and it fits in pretty well with your Psychic Blades
and I mean,
feature.
It helps us sneak, right? Like create a distraction while we go around.
Mm-hmm. You got plenty of uses for it.
So forward.
That's good. Mary, what are you at?
Level 11 fighter. I get to hit stuff more. That's it. But it's great.
Yeah, it's going to be super awesome.
I can roll. I'm sorry, guys. My turns are going to take so much longer.
I love it.
Yeah.
What did you roll for HP? I don't know if we ever knew that.
I have 137 now.
What dice did you roll there? Like, what did you get on the dice?
8 out of a D10.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Everyone rolled really well this time.
Everyone.
Except for Scott.
You still rolled like not all 2.
I just rolled straight average.
Average it is. Gord.
I'm level 16 warlock.
No, you're not.
Spells up my sleeve.
You're only 14, but still.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you got some more cool demonic abilities too.
What did you roll health-wise?
You asking me?
Yeah, do you remember which dice you rolled? What do you got on the die?
Maybe like a 5 or something? I can't remember.
And so what's your max right now?
94.
Oh, I'm actually above someone. Damn, you and me, Gord. Brothers for life. In the double digits.
Lavender will be leveling up to level 12 when she gets back. But for the time being, she's going to just do her thing and quietly follow the group, uncharacteristically.
Drawing in her book the whole time.
Yeah. As the golden hour light does never really change from the Somerset Isles, you all awake, a little hungover, Hondo a little more so, though with some fond memories to look back on across your whole group of the quiet first happy night you guys have had in quite some time. And one where you are all actually content and well-fed, drunk, and not about to die in any manner, as far as you know. So, Dahlia and Nova greet you at your guys' rooms, and they both kind of look over Valentine wearing this armor that is familiar to them but new to you, and they both nod and say, "It does suit you quite well."
It shows off my assets quite nicely.
Hmm.
How do you guys feel? Went pretty hard last night.
Oh, we're probably more accustomed to the drink of our people here than you are.
Yeah, that fruit wine sneaks up on you.
Yeah, the sugar gets you.
It can do that.
Oh, were you going to say something?
Please. I was only about to say we are at your beck and call for the time. Titania, now, though she's not at full strength, we have no immediate fears. We can easily, happily accompany you to Gallifrey. It will take the majority of today, but it's a leisurely journey, at least.
Yeah, let's do it. Did Hondo make it back to his hut last night? Last I saw, he was with those Aladrin twins walking down the beach.
Hondo did not make it back to your abode. However, I do see him rousing. He kind of nods, and you see Hondo on his way back.
Jolly happy.
Early morning swim, Honda?
Just strutting.
Reborn.
Okay.
Wonderful. What a lovely, lovely day.
Nova
Hondo,
kind of
cover up a bit.
claps you on the shoulder and says, "I look forward to many golden fish-scaled creatures running about in a few short months."
I mean, Mary, to answer your question, I was swimming in a sea of euphoria.
Okay.
Well, maybe we get on
No.
for the day, perhaps. We do have a fairly lengthy journey ahead of us, but hopefully let's not rush ourselves. We can make this in good time by the end of day.
Sounds good.
Easily enough, unless you guys choose otherwise. You have to sail down the Euphoria River and return back towards Castle Avalon. But it is multiple hours. If there's anything you guys want to do on your journey before hit Gallifrey, let me know now.
I would just say you still have to take little breaks when you're walking all day, right?
Yeah, for the most part, you guys are going to be sailing for a couple of hours, and then there'll be a break close to Avalon, not right at its shores, though you could, in theory, if you wanted to.
I would just at some point hand the box of scrolls over to Valentine.
Cool.
Say, I don't know what the fuck to do with these. I'm assuming they'll help you cast spells. I don't know if you can figure out what the hell they are, but I have no use for them.
I've been reading, and I think I might be able to identify what these are if I was able to sit them with them for a while now. But yeah, maybe when we get back to the material plane, I can take a look at them.
In theory, if you are not particularly sailing one of the boats, if you got someone else to row, you could ritually take 11 minutes and...
I was going to ride on Fern, but maybe if Brawley wants to switch and she pilots Fern, I mean, Fern doesn't really need piloting, but yeah.
I can do that.
Sentient.
Before we actually go, I think I'll just like maybe as we're getting the ships ready or whatever, I'll just like glance up at like the Sealy Court, like the tallest of the islands where Titania is, and just kind of like close my eyes and like say a prayer of thank you up to her and then move on. I don't want to leave without saying goodbye, but I don't want to go all the way up there.
Yeah, as you glance up and finish your prayer and open your eyes, you can just faintly make out this like sparkling glimmer looking out over from the edge of Senelise. And you feel this rush of warm breeze kind of ripple across the lake and like flips out your hair magnificently in your cloak. And you feel heard.
And a little tap Lightbringer. But yeah, I'd love to identify if Brawley switch in the saddle. I'll just start taking out these little things at them.
Easy enough. Without the need of an ability check then, as you set off for the first of a couple of hours of journey, you're going to identify there are 4 scrolls. And as I said, it only takes 11 minutes to ritually cast them, so you cost no spells or anything like that. You have a scroll of Speak with Dead, just 3rd level. You have a scroll of Invisibility, just 2nd level. You have a scroll of a spell called Mislead, a illusion spell of 6th level, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
And actually another plane shift spell slot, or spell scroll.
Ooh.
Some good bounty from old Lucius.
I'll go on the earring. Be like, Hondo, did you ever learn how to go invisible?
Yes, I do have invisibility. I don't use it much because I like to get to know people.
Yeah, that makes sense. Only spellcasters can use scrolls, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then Val will just like look at Lavender, look at Gord, look at Hondo, and just think about maybe who he should give these scrolls to, but I'll tuck them away for now.
Sure. Easy enough.
But my invisibility is non-combatant, so if this scroll is combatant invisibility, I'll take it.
This is the same.
Same as yours. There is a greater invisibility, but this is just straight up level 2 invisibility.
Very well.
For the first couple of hours of sailing and taking leisurely breaks, now without a immediate kind of pressing on your back to rush forward, you all lounge and sail like comfortably, rowing down this glistening river. Every now and again, a fish jumps up and out of the river and takes flight and continues flying away just over the treetops. Most of you catch sight of creatures and critters kind of skittering along the edges of the banks of the river, all kind of spying from the shadows from beneath bushes, and a lot of little creatures that kind of rustle bushes and up in the boughs of trees, but don't pay you any mind. You see a couple of little, almost like little floating balls of light energy, kind of just like constantly watching over and then continuing on a little journey as the hours slowly wane on. About midday, shortly after midday, a little later than midday, actually, sorry, you do begin to see the familiar Castle Avalon, still in its somewhat state of destruction, unfortunately, after it tangled with Lucius. And the river does continue past here a little ways, but Nova and Dahlia both kind of gesture to dock the boats here and continue on foot, as it's a bit of a straight shot from here to Gallifrey rather than to sail any further south. And you dock and set yourselves up and stretch and get started on a journey to the east, technically, following Dahlia and Nova's lead. But again, no real rush. As you pass Avalon, you do hear the sounds of people talking, and you hear some music and some faint chatter and laughter from within. It seems to be picking up the pieces, and life continuing on.
Avalon is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. That's good to hear.
Anything we found a lot of books here last time. Any last minute things to look up?
I thought about that, but I just don't know if we should spend any more time before we should get back to material plane.
Yeah.
Francis might be like 88 by the time we get back.
If we get back and he should be 88, I don't know that we'll have a plane to go back to.
That's fair. So we should just stay here then?
I mean, getting weirdly used to the bizarreness of this place, but it feels fake. It's like it's all just dream. It'd be, at the end where you're waking up and you probably should wake up. You kind of still like it, but your brain just knows it's not real.
But it'd be nice.
For a time, maybe.
Yeah, we should go back, though. I'll go to... Are we off the boats now? We're kind of like walking?
You guys are beginning to trek on foot now through some still very verdant trees, and you do note, as you guys do begin to continue past Castle Avalon and more into the thicket beyond, you recall the area around here being much more void of life when last you came by. And though the trees and the ground is still, you see a lot of very mucky, seemingly ice having melted away. The trees begin to have, you see the first little white spark of buds and tiny little leaves beginning to sprout as life returns to the forest around here. So a good sign as you guys begin to make your trek through.
I'll try and match pace with Dal and Nova.
Mm-hmm. They're not rushing. They're just kind of slowly making their way through.
Castle Avalon used to be Sylvanas' home, is that right?
It still is, in a way. His memory and his life will carry on within its walls through his diligent writing and art. His heart was within that place. I don't think it will ever truly fade.
As someone who's carrying on part of his legacy with the Warden of the Fae and another Lord of the Light and the former owner of Lightbringer, do you think it'd be okay if in the future I came back and stayed in Castle Avalon?
I think that would be most definitely okay. I think more than okay. From what I understand, Eldwin and his family will be tending to it for the time, but there is more than enough space for a few others, in fact. And it's not necessarily his. He's just cleaning up what happened for the time. A conversation may be had for whether you wish it to be yours or his, or if that even matters, truly. But you're more than welcome to stay.
It doesn't really matter. I just look forward to the day that hopefully that's a possibility.
I think for your situation, it would be most wise. Avalon has an interesting way of reaching through to both sides.
That sounds right. As someone from both sides. And if there's any like Triton, Eladrin children in the future, they could hang out there if they're like outcasts because of the way they look.
It's good to know. From what I saw last night, there very well might be.
That's what I figured. God.
Well, that's another day.
Yeah, let's not picture that anymore. Let's keep going.
You guys continue through trees that begin to grow more verdant and fuller and thicker in foliage. And you recall little signs and bits and bobs of your path forward through here before. You hear the crack of a twig off in the distance, or a small branch, and you see this faint rush of hair, this green glimmering hair of a familiar figure who just tucks away out of earshot, and you hear this faint kind of childlike laughter kind of echo through off in the distance, and you see life and light return to these woods. So,
Lav is super excited by that and is frantically looking through her drawing book trying to find that.
Unfortunately,
Girl's
the dryad does not stick around, but you can tell she's thriving and happy and healthy. And that's what matters.
Lavender will rip out the drawing she did of her. She'll look around and then she'll put it next to one of the trees.
Easy enough. The couple more, it's only a short more hours of journeying through this section of woods before you begin to see through a sort of thinning of the woods. You see this tree of incredibly tall and wide branches at the top, like an umbrella canopy that when you last saw was bare and cold and near death. But you now see Gallifrey, vibrant and healthy looking wood, rich colorful leaves of all colors. You see purple leaves and bright pink and blue scattered in with plenty of green, reds, oranges, a whole rainbow hue of foliage that very well matches between its central arch at its heart, this faint kind of rainbow-hued swirling energy through which you can just barely make out the faint kind of image of another forest beyond. You guys have reached your doorway home.
I pick up one of the purple leaves that are fallen on the ground, and I give it to Lav, and I go, "Here, for your notes as a memory."
Lavender immediately bawls her eyes out.
Took the words right from my mouth. That is so nice of you, Brawley. I will press it in my book and think of you always.
Besties.
And we all know if Amanda was here in real life, she would also.
She would be weeping. She would be weeping. Well, Hondo, you were the first to lead us through last time. You just want to rush through this tree again?
I will do it again.
A word of caution before you go. Nova says, for some of you, you may experience some memory mishaps, some loss of your time here. It's a small price to pay in some cases, some creatures. This place is too much for them, and the memories fade. It's faint dreams. But hopefully, enough of our world has made an impression on most of you that you will remember us, and we, of course, will always remember you. Your heroic deeds, some foul words, but plenty of laughs. and lots of love between. Also, take care. I know what lie beyond here. I wish we could help more with this shroud of time and the threat that you all face beyond. If a time ever may arise where you need us, you only know when to call. We will be there. Dahlia kind of steps forward and with her staff kind of tied around her back, no real need to use it, she reaches out and gives Valentine a hug, or reaches out for one anyways. Nova steps forward to Hondo, the He-Man kind of like arm bro handshake. And they begin making their way around your group with hugs, handshakes of goodbye. Dahlia, before leaving the embrace of Valentine, just leaves a little peck on the cheek and says, "We knew you had the light in you.
You saved my life. I won't forget it.
You saved our home. We won't forget you."
Valentine wipes a little tear.
They both step back, kind of arm in arm.
I will put an arm around Mary and be like, "You're not going to forget this stuff, right? Like this, you'll remember this for always." And I'll inspire you.
Oh. That's nice.
And then Lav will put an arm around Brawley and be like, "Wow, this is like the best time I've ever had with my best friend."
It's been so much fun. I mean, not totally fun, but we've had so much fun together. It's been great. I love it.
Because
we'll never forget it.
Never, ever, ever.
Ever. Ever.
And she'll inspire you.
Thank you.
Hondo, do you want to inspire anyone?
You have 10 minutes to use your inspirations. Just keeping that in mind.
Which, is it just a D4?
D6 for
D6
Lav.
from Lav.
Ooh.
Leah gets a D. Did your inspo didn't go up with your level, did it?
Just D10, yeah.
D10. I think it's like high level for the D12, isn't it?
Yeah, one day.
I'll
Then I
use
get that
my
D20.
purple.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. If bards weren't broken enough.
If bards were broken enough, you get a natural 20 on your inspiration.
And your
Cool.
inspiration die. Yeah, great.
Roll this D100. Hondo, do you want to lead us through this?
I'm ready.
Hondo goes through.
Dives through. Dal's gonna kind of like hang towards the back of this. He wants to be the last to go.
Do I have to roll or anything?
I'm going to have everyone do it all at the same time once we're through.
Lavender will squeeze Brawley's hand, and then she'll rush through. Someone's gonna look after him.
Each time each of them pass, you see just a faint ripple, but you don't see anything beyond. You see as they pass through this kind of rainbow veil, you just kind of lose sight of everything. It's just kind of a perpetually difficult to place scene beyond.
Just looked, one last look to Val, and time to wake up. Walk through.
I look at Gordon. Gordon, do you mind if I go last? I kind of just want to look at it for a bit.
You may.
So are you gonna step through, or do you want me to?
I'll step through.
Reluctantly, Gord steps through the rainbow arch.
I'll shoulder Brawley and be like, "I hope you don't forget this place."
I have a feeling I won't. Come on, Lightbringer, let's go. And then I hop in.
I'll look one last look around and then walk through.
Okay. Val, as you take your last step through, you feel a tug on your cloak for a moment. And you look back and you see Fern kind of nuzzle your hand for a moment and give a little lick, then sit down.
Buddy.
You see sadness in his eyes.
Buddy, don't worry. We'll be together soon.
Nova and Dal step forward and say, we'll keep good care of him.
Don't try and feed him any dead things. Hondo tried to do that. He really doesn't like it. He likes when his feathers are brushed every night before bed. And sometimes he gets really... I'll miss you, buddy. I'll press my head into him.
He just responds.
All right, see you soon, pal.
Big eyes just looking at you with sadness.
We'll be back soon, don't worry. Valentine says more to himself. And then he'll turn to Dal and Nova, and he'll be like, I really should have kissed Raleigh. That would have been like a really, really good moment.
Yeah, you fucked up.
Yeah, I fucked up. I'll just walk backwards through.
Okay. First things first. Someone has to roll a d20 for a Feywild
Where's Lily?
Time Warp.
Where's Lily?
In this instance,
Oh no, she's in bed.
I'm going to ask Scott to do it.
Oh.
And I'm going to give you advantage on the roll as a little goodbye present from Titania. A little good luck.
We don't know what a good roll is, though, right?
D20?
D20.
You got this.
Okay.
Just tell me both rolls.
One was a 2.
Okay.
One is a 19.
Okay.
Opposite ends of the spectrum.
You feel, as you step through, you feel sadness at having to say goodbye to this realm for a moment. More sadness having to say goodbye to Fern for the moment. But as you cross through this threshold and you're in this in-between, this void, you see the face of Titania for but a moment. She gives you a wink and just kind of creeps close and whispers into your ear, lower is better. Travel safe. And she slips away. You stride forward. You see Hondo laying on the ground, having dove through, and everyone else having stepped around him as he begins to get himself to his feet. I'd like everyone
Hondo.
to make wisdom saving throws. Except Valentine.
I was about to ask. Okay.
With info, Allie.
Hondo.
Yep.
Okay. Add your wisdom saving modifier.
Lavender roll a natural 20.
Hey!
Ooh.
So Lav's good. Hondo.
+2, so it's 14.
Okay. Gord.
16.
Okay.
Nice.
Allie.
I also got 16.
Mary.
29.
Oh my god.
I didn't need to use your inspo.
Why did I
but
give you that fucking inspiration?
I don't know. I rolled very well, but then I also... Yeah, the inspo was also good, really high.
You all step through and immediately step around Hondo as Hondo begins to pull himself up to his feet. And you pull yourself up around these thick, winding roots around the base of this tree. And it's a weird kind of mesh of roots, and they're thick and wild in all directions. But you look up and it's really dark, but not unnaturally so. You feel a thick evening as you look about the space, and it's quiet but calm. You hear some faint birds off in the distance, an owl. But it's quiet in a good way.
Is there still any scary brambles around like there was before?
You see the forests expand, stretch out before you, though in darkness, but you see no rime vines, no thick bramble walls, all seemingly destroyed and fallen away.
I'll turn back to Galifar. Is that Galifar?
Galifar.
Just Galifar. Just put a palm on them. Just kind of say thank you.
You look up into the tree, and you see like the two trunks kind of form and twist and connect, and look through again the kind of rainbow haze, and it's kind of casting this haze of rainbow colors out over you. And you look up into the boughs above, and you can see the tree itself you see these kind of nodules that hang from the tree. And this bright white light just begins to kind of glow, and underlit this massive boughs of this tree just casts this faint white, bluish white light down along all of the wildcards, and you all feel comforted and kind of look up in this awe-inspiring display of amazing natural world that you live in, and you are back home. What are you guys doing?
Do you guys remember where we just were, guys?
Does
Everyone notice
remember?
what just happened?
Everyone remembers.
Crazy
Awesome.
ass Feywild shit.
Yeah. Hondo, do you remember sleeping with those elves?
I had the good time there.
You really did, my friend.
Why we come back?
You got
I
some
think
work
I'll be
to
asking
do.
myself that for a while.
I mean, there's nothing here.
Well, I mean, the
Well,
world's not on fire. That's good, right?
I think.
don't care about this world anymore.
Do you want us to go back to the Feywild?
Go back.
Buddy, when this is all over, there's a space at Castle Avalon for you. And your spawn.
I await that.
I feel closer to Hondo. Do you guys remember how he came here? I don't mean that in we forgot because of the Feywild, but I literally mean, how do we get back to Lady Damrin? Do you remember how we got there?
We'd have to retrace our path. Feels like it's been like a year.
I'll just go jump on Fern and take a... Fuck. Fern couldn't come for a bit. Can I try and, is that fucking Oliver I just heard his little cat voice?
Oh,
I think
maybe.
so.
He's like right beside me.
I thought it was all...
Yeah. I tune it out now. It's all the time.
I was going to try and cast a spell just to see if I could, but I don't want to waste anything. Can I try and recall how to get back to that super cool village where we all met?
Back to to Auburn?
No. To
Or the city, the heart of the world, Endor.
where we came from, yeah. In Bora.
That's it, where we met the council.
Yep. Make a survival check.
While he's doing that, can I look and try to find, because I know Hondo ran here, so he probably left relatively deep footprints and all that shit. I want to try to see if like when you're tracking something, you can say, oh, it's been X amount of days. I want to see if I can try to figure out how long it's been since those footprints were there.
Make a survival check.
Should have used the inspiration for
2 years. I rolled a 15 and I add 5, so it's 20 for survival.
Okay.
I rolled a 16, so that's 17.
Okay. The tracks look incredibly fresh. Hondo's heavy footfalls look like they have only just happened. Val, you look out and you can see, as Mary is kind of pointing down to Hondo's footprints in the between the roots and beyond. As you guys kind of clear the boughs of the tree, you look out and see, indeed, through kind of trampled earth and pushed aside grass, you can see a pretty clear direction that you guys rushed through. And you have a pretty good, now that you're back home, you get your internal compass going, and it was more or less a straight shot from where you were to Gallifrey. And you imagine if we just go straight this way, in this case it would be east, you'll get there. It was a couple of hours.
I think I know the path we have to go. I think we just head this way, guys. You good to keep traveling?
Yeah.
Hana, your
Yeah.
legs aren't too tired from yesterday?
Ever not.
You guys can push forward for a couple more hours, but you're not sure you'll...
Oh yeah, I forgot we
the
actually
city.
traveled a full day.
Let's just get slightly away from here. Maybe there was a spot we almost rested last time. See if those bodies are still in the trees, and if they are, we can put them to rest.
It's a good idea.
That wasn't far from here. That was just on the edge of the grove here, so to speak. But following in this direction, anyone who wants to search them out, make a perception check.
Search for bodies?
For the signs of bodies, or
Yeah, okay. I'll do that.
there were 2 creatures here last you came through.
It's a 15, so 26.
You guys travel for about 15 minutes or so.
Sorry, 21. What am I saying? Not
I don't
26,
know.
21.
Regardless, you guys travel for 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes, and you see no sign of anything hanging from the trees. You see no crows. You see no ill signs that were once a dark omen. Everything seems to be calm and restored.
Like nothing looks slightly frozen or dead. Those rime vines are gone.
And you see no sign of any of that. You see no sign of any bodies, any crows, any corruption in the foliage or in the surrounding lands. Seems fine.
It hasn't been that long. Things bounce back fucking fast around here. Holy shit. Is there a good looking place to like camp?
With that, I would say that you guys can find a spot, a small clearing, and there's a thin kind of brook that's kind of passing through this little clearing area, and you see for a moment as you guys make your way through, you see off in the distance a deer kind of drinking at this brook that immediately hears you all and takes off into the woods. But you can see a faint clearing of grass and a kind of an opening in the boughs above, and you see a dark night sky above you all. But you find a comfortable place to rest within less than an hour's travel from Gallifrey.
DM, quick question. Could I have nabbed a bottle of wine or even like a half bottle of wine
Sure.
before it's just in my bag? I'm not going to do anything with it, but I just...
What an interesting Mary question to have asked.
I know.
Yeah, you should use.
It's weird. She doesn't typically drink. She would have had a glass, but she doesn't typically drink.
Val doesn't either. Interesting.
There was plenty, and more than enough that you could easily have stowed away a bottle,
Okay.
a full one.
Well,
And
should we camp out here?
for the point, to both of you not being big drinkers, this wine was good.
It's kind of what I figured. It would have been like putting it off for a while and then be like, okay, yeah, I'll try some. And then it's like that fruit wine that doesn't taste like alcohol. And yeah.
No, this was really good.
Why don't we camp out here for now, and then in the morning we can... Maybe this place will actually have, like, time passing in the sky. What a revolutionary thing.
God, yeah, we can tell what kind of day it is. We can't see, in this clearing, can we see stars or anything?
Absolutely.
I guess there's no way, it's nighttime at this point. There's no way to tell what time of day it is.
Unfortunately, yeah, there's no way to really tell. Unfortunately, not until the sun starts to creep over the horizon. You're not really sure. But you do see a clear, starry sky above.
Well, it was getting dark when it was dark when we left here, so I guess we'll just have to see what time the sun wakes us up.
Yeah, let's have a nice rest, and then let's just see what happens in the morning.
Okay.
Are anyone going to take a watch, just in case?
Yeah, I think we should. Let's not let... Who's really bad at watches together? Is that Lavender and Hondo? We spook at everything.
Lav and Allie were funny last time. I think that's the last time we had to take a watch. Didn't you guys both roll, like, trash and then got the zombie walked up to you?
Yeah, and then we were like, oh, look, an owl. We should tell them about the owl. And it was
Did we wake everyone up?
we woke everyone up for it, yeah.
Lav would like to volunteer to go. Oh, Hondo, what were you going to say?
I will take it first watch alone.
That's not sketchy at all.
I'm okay with it.
Rest. I need extra sparring time, and doing it with someone will just annoy me. So.
All right.
I'll take watch. I need extra time to work on my actual extracurricular.
I need time to not be on watch. Yeah.
Okay. Hondo, you take first watch then. Make a perception check.
Can't believe Hondo for months has gone pure smartphone, no dice. Isn't that wild?
I know.
9.
Plus your
So what do you
perception.
add?
The perception, I believe, is 10. Let me double check. Perception. 12. Sorry. So that's 22. 21.
21. For however much time you actually spend keeping watch versus practicing and sparring for your own desires, the night passes quietly and not oddly so, but like comfortingly so. Like this forest seems at peace, and all around you just seems quietly peaceful. It seems right, but nothing comes of it. Who do you wake for second watch?
I go up to Valentine. I kick him. Like, your turn. I didn't do it hard. Come on. I didn't feel like bending down to like hit you, so I just kicked you. Sorry.
God, are we okay? Are we under attack? What's happening?
Oh, it's your turn, man.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
You want. I don't know who you want to go with. So.
That's fine. Thank you. I'll wake up Mary. I won't kick her. I'll just go to her. And then I'll just grab her shoulders and say, hey, wake up.
Fuck, what? And she'll immediately grab her sword.
I imagine a dagger to the throat right away. It's our turn for watch.
Oh, yeah.
Were you sleeping?
I mean, yes. I'm fine. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really weird to sleep and not either fear for your life or hear drunken on Hondo and elves in the background.
We were just in a corrupted Feywild to battle another hag ancestor of mine to save that realm, only to have to jump to hell to defeat him once and for all. And then we came back, and now we're here. And now we have to take on our actual problems in the material plane, where another part of hell is trying to take over here.
Yeah, about that. That parchment I found, it kind of sounds like that shit's somehow connected, right? Am I crazy?
Let me read it again. I wrote it down in my book.
It says something about in realms above and realms below, when the reign of the God King expands, right? That's hell coming here.
So too shall the Countess lands. But should the spawn turn to enemy fight, then blood of Malagard, fate ignites.
So we don't know what the fate means, but it sounds like your grandma wants this shit to happen.
The blood of Malgard fate ignites. But should the spawn-turned enemy fight? Yeah, I don't know.
That's you.
It was in a nice, pretty writing, though. That's kind of weird, eh? It's not like it was in, like, spooky devil writing.
I mean,
it's, like,
it was
scratched in blood.
No, but I mean, it's what nursery rhymes are creepy as fuck.
In realms above and realms below, shadows and blood strike their blow. When reign of the God King expands. You'd think God King would be what? Asmodeus?
Maybe.
Asmodeus?
That's what it sounds like. I don't know. My brain's too broken to think about this right now. It's been a long few days. Although, has it? Like, how long has it been? Has it been 30 seconds? Has it been a day? It hasn't been long, because the world's not on fire.
I just want you to cherish this moment where we don't know. For 2 nights, we've just had the joy of pure naiveness to not know how long it's been. And tomorrow that reality is going to shatter. But for tonight, you can hear the birds chirping, crickets chirping, Hondo snoring. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, I guess ignoring reality has its benefits. Oh god, let's just hope nothing attacks us. Or maybe they should. I could hit something. That'd be nice.
We were just in Verdansia. Do you miss home?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to think about it, but this is... Well, no, it hasn't. It's not the longest I've ever been from home, but it's weird. Got used to feeling responsible for a place. To have no idea what's happening to it is a little scary.
When I was going through all of that in the Feywild, and especially in that second last fight inside that like evil ice titan thing, and going down and thinking about how Brawley went down and we had to get her back. I don't know. During that like canoe ride over when I was on Fern and holding onto Brawley, I was thinking about that whole chapter. And I was thinking about you mentioning your own relations with the Eldrazi, with those like specialized assassins and stuff. And that's not something we've ever like fully pressed into, but at some point, if you ever wanted to talk about it and what you went through, I'd be happy to just listen.
She like subconsciously like rubs the back of her neck. Yeah, there's a reason I like to keep my brain busy and keep my hands busy, and downtime memories creep in. You don't always want them to, but I appreciate it.
Well, how about one more night where bad memories don't creep in and we just enjoy this quiet forest?
Sounds good.
You're very observant. You kind of know what's going on, and I'll like glance over at Brawley sleeping and then back at her.
Did I miss something? I feel like I missed something.
What I'm trying to say is you're very observant, but maybe you're not aware, and I just wanted you to know, especially with what we went through. You're my best friend.
Fuck. Yeah.
And then I'll punch you very weakly in the shoulder.
I'll punch you a little punch you a little harder.
And then I'll just put my
back
head
at you, man.
I'll just put my head on you.
Remember what I said about not fucking shit up?
Mostly I just remember you saying not dying.
Yeah. Don't wait too long. That's all.
Oh, that. Yeah, I know. I missed a really good moment.
There'll be more options, more opportunities. Just don't let them all go by. That's all.
Okay. Then I'll watch the forest real quiet.
Yeah. It's a quiet night. It's peaceful. It's nice. And nothing untoward comes spookily out of the dark. And you begin to see the sky above change about 2 hours into your watch. You begin to see light break. And you realize you guys are kind of a little... you went to sleep a little late.
A little off schedule.
A little off schedule. You can see the beginning of daybreak starting to crest. As your watch comes to an end, you can tell sunrise is just around the corner.
Oh my god, you're right. Seeing the day change is amazing.
Told you. That whole, like, perpetual dusk thing. I just still picture Hondo on the beach in the fading light, dancing rhythmically to the music.
I mean, it was awesome. It's like the best time of day, but it's very disorienting. That day, it felt like 12 days.
So
all right, let's wake someone up.
You wake up Brawley, Lavender, Cord, or Hondo again.
Don't wake up Hondo again. That's mean. I'll go wake up Gord.
Okay.
I'll just snuggle down to sleep. Actually, I'll wake up Lav. Shake Lav. Wake up! What? It's your turn for watch with Gord. Okay.
Only Scott would voluntarily play two characters in a moment.
The one-man improv show.
I'll gently wake up Gord. More gently than Hondo woke up Valentine.
Do you say anything, or you just tap his helmet?
That's it. I dink on his helmet. I tap my sword on his helmet so it makes a tinking noise. Your turn, buddy. Sun's coming up.
This is the way.
Sure. Nice to be home, at least. Or did you like that place?
I didn't mind it.
It was cool. It was like kind of fucked up, right? Like everything's just like none of it felt real.
What even is real anymore?
But why are you so fucking smart? Okay, I'm going to bed.
Good night.
As Gord waits, Lavender's there.
Gord, may I draw you?
Of course.
Lavender start drawing him.
Lavender watches as Gord sits pensively, though no facial tics give away. Gord, as you wake up and kind of come to consciousness, watching your friends fall back asleep and continue to sleep and draw you. You feel a creeping cold in your mind, just at the stem, right at the stem of your neck and your brain and your head, right just above the base of your helmet, and it slowly inches up and around, kind of inside your helmet. You can feel it slowly working its way up around the crest of your head, and then down, and then just drips over your eye, and then kind of sweeps back up and around and into one of your ears that are kind of folded around as your helmet kind of holds it down. And you feel this cold, like worm, inching its way across your head, and then within your ear, and you hear,
Do not forget our deal. You've been gone for some time. Tenebrious waits for no man.
and that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Thank
Ooh.
As you all return home to travel to Endora and see what lies next on your journey, you have roughly about 2 weeks to the next full moon, 2
Okay.
weeks to get to Castirian, 2 weeks for this next ritual or seal, the threat of hell on your doorstep. A
How
final
dare you
seal.
end there? How dare you end there?
And the ever-hanging threat of whatever Tenebrious may be. We'll pick up there next time.
Oof.
You know what terrifies me most about that is that you said something in the past that Carval is going towards Tenebrious. God. None of the
Fight
people
that asshole
know.
again.
None of the people know what we went through.
No idea.
Prediction: we will be fighting Gord at some point in the future.
Buddy, since like Ep 2, I've been picturing that.
Since before he was even a warlock.
Yeah.
We did fight Gord in like episode 3 or 2 or 3.
It
I
was
beat the shit
early
out of
on.
him in a
Everyone was
bar.
still learning what to do with their character.
This is going to be a fight to the death, and Valentine will be.
Hey! I would never defeat my sweet
You will
prince.
have to. It will be you or him that dies.
Life or death.
Then we both go down together. We ride together, we die together.
Thanks for tuning in. Join us next time as the Wildcards return to Endora with news, good and bad, and embark on their next adventure. There'll be a new episode up every Tuesday, so stay tuned, but until then, keep exploring.